And we bet like we never left. You are listening to the Extra Point. We didn't cover the NFL draft 1 week because we had some technical difficulties. So we thought we would bring you here. Mazzi, what are we going to be talking about today?
What up, Livezone? Happy to be back talking about some NFL here on the Extra Point. We're talking NFL draft hot takes and what's installed for this NFL season. New players, new team setups, new teams to watch that are dangerous. Old teams are bad. Old, good teams are bad. Bad, new teams are good. Whatever you want to break it down to. It's ready to go this NFL season. We're ready to go as well. So, starting off, we got a couple hot takes. Livezone, I want you to tell me what's one of your hot takes coming up for this NFL season.
Well, you know me. I'm a big New England Patriots fan. New England is my home team. I'm going to start here with it right now. The Patriots should have picked Marvin Harrison if they had Milton on their radar anyways. I think, all right, if you know me, I said this before the draft happened. Draft combine coming through, 70-yard drop back passes. Milton is a raw talent. He needs 1 year or 2 years off the bench to learn off of an NFL quarterback, and then he's going to be a stud. If you had him in your plans in the later draft round picks where everybody thought that he would go anyways, you should have picked up the best wide receiver in the NFL draft, and that is Marvin Harrison Jr. Instead, Marvin Harrison is going to Arizona, where there is no guarantee that he's going to have a great year or not. But in a Patriots uniform, he would have been the star. He would have been the one that everybody looked at. He would have been in the same conversation the same way that Christian Gonzalez was in last year. He would have proved to everybody why he's there, and he would have been NFL ready for Jacoby Brissett or Milton or whoever was at quarterback. That's my first hot take.
You know, I could see your thinking on that. I'm going to actually maybe even piggyback or tie in a little with that. I'm going to stay on trend, go with a hot take for the New England Patriots. I think Milton will start over May by the beginning of this year. They're going to see something out of this offseason when they're in training camp, preseason, getting stuff done, figuring it out. They're going to see Milton throwing those dimes with complete accuracy. Drake May is going to end up losing the job because of inaccuracy and not being the alpha dog. I don't think it's in the cards for him. I think they drafted another Mac Jones in him. That's part of the hot take as well. Okay?
Wow.
I think the Patriots knew what they were doing after the fact. I don't think they initially thought Joe Milton was on the board. We were going to draft him. I think he fell to them late as a backup plan, like you're saying, but inevitably, I think he fits the system better, especially with Gerard Mayo, who played with Tom Brady.
That is definitely a hot take. The other hot take that I had for New England, that's not one of the ones that I was going to say, was that the New England Patriots got the two best quarterbacks in the draft. I really do see a lot in Drake May. I really think he could be a leader the same way he was in North Carolina, and I think he's a better leader than Caleb Williams is, in my own opinion.
That's a hot take.
But we shall see. We shall see what happens there.
Yeah.
You know, Caleb Williams has a lot of weapons. Drake May doesn't have as many. We shall see what happens. I think, though, the Patriots got the two best quarterbacks in the draft, period.
Another hot take.
That's another thing.
Another hot take.
So I'm going to head over to my second one.
Yep.
And if you know me, my second team in the AFC kind of gave up on him last year for a good reason.
They're dead in the water.
Keon Coleman, wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, is going to be a better wide receiver for Josh Allen than Stephon Diggs was in recent years. I think that Keon Coleman has the chance to be the best wide receiver in the draft this year. I'm not saying full career-wise, but rookie year-wise, I think he has the best rookie year out of all the wide receivers that were picked.
I don't know if you're looking at my book of stuff, dude, but we're just like on point with each other in these wide receivers right now because I'm kind of going with something crazy. I'm picking a wide receiver that was drafted in the first round. Actually, I don't know if he was drafted first round. He might have been second round. Romeo Eldunze to the Chicago Bears with Caleb
Okay.
Williams. My hot take is Romeo Odunze is going to break the rookie record for most receiving yards set by Puka Nacua last year.
Wow, really? Out of all the receivers that they got this year and everything like that, and they got DJ Moore there still, you really think that he's going to do it?
Romeo Odunze is a dog. He's ready to play. Bears are going to have injuries and people go down. That's what always happens in Chicago. They're going to need somebody to step up. I think he stays the most healthy through the whole year. He's a constant for Caleb Williams. They're both rookies going together. They're going to bond together through the league, getting drafted together, playing on the same team. I mean, Romeo Odunze, when it came down to the clutch times with Washington and Penix Jr., he made the tough catches. He made those catches in the end zone. He made the long catches. He made the short in-route catches. He made the seam catches. He could break off for 50, 60 as well. He could get yak. Dude, he is all around big time, I swear. And I know he's coming hungry, especially because Washington didn't get that championship done. I know he's itching for something and has something more to prove. Watch out for Romeo Odunze, brother.
All right, all right. And then I'm going to head over to my last one. My last
Okay.
one's kind of a big one. I'm going to go 3 winners of the NFL draft. Who did the best? Who picked the best? Who got the players that were needed for their teams? And I'm going to start with number 3 as my New England Patriots. The New England Patriots, like I said, got the 2 best quarterbacks in the draft, in my opinion. Got 2 great wide receivers, got linemen, got everything that they needed in the draft this year. I really like the way that they drafted this year. It was different from what we have seen in past years when Bill Belichick was the coach. Looking like Gerard Mayo was a great decision, especially when it comes to draft time. I really like what they did there. Number 2, I'm going to go with the LA Chargers. Joe Alt in the first round, getting a big need for Justin Herbert at the O-line positions, right? Then after that, they turn around and they get Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice's kid. That's going to be a huge asset for Justin Herbert, and Brendan Rice is going to look exactly the same way that his dad did on the 49ers. I think that out of the receivers that we have seen, you see the Malik Neighbors, you see the Romeo Dunze, you see the Marvin Harrisons, but everybody's forgetting about the Keon Coleman and the Brendan Rice. And they should not be because they're 2 monsters and they're going to do big things for their teams. But my number 1 winner for the NFL draft is by far the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles went into this draft needing cornerbacks, and they grabbed the 2 out of the 4 best cornerbacks in the second round and third round, or whatever it was. I think it was second and second, actually, or late first and second. But they grabbed 2 of the 4 best corners in the draft, with Cooper DeJean needing to be looked at. He is going to be a monster for this team. It put Philadelphia in the same conversation as the Kansas City Chiefs and all the other teams that you know are going to be there. And honestly, in my own opinion, they look 10 times better than the San Francisco 49ers do right now. And that's saying a lot. So that's my top 3 hot takes of the NFL draft. Mazzi, what you got?
Are the Eagles Super Bowl bound?
I would say so. I would say out of all the teams in the NFC right now, the Philadelphia Eagles look like the team to beat after that draft.
We will see. I got one last hot take. Chicago Bears are going to win their division for the first time in I don't know how long. You could fact check me on that. I don't know how long it's been since they won their division. What was it, Brian Urlacher days?
I think it was before that. I think it was championship days when they went against the Patriots.
Either way, it's over 20 years. Or
Yeah.
about 20 years. But the Chicago Bears in 2024, 2025 are going to win their division. I have full confidence in this Caleb Williams kid to be able to lead a team to victories. I don't think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, like they're chopping him up to be, but I think he has the ability to lead a team under a lot of pressure and be able to get it done. He was under a spectrum every single day at USC that was crazy compared to any other quarterback. Every time I turned on ESPN, it was Caleb Williams this, Caleb Williams that. And at the end of the day, USC ended with a winning record, but still nearly about 500. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is this kid was in college, and before this last year, I wasn't hearing Caleb Williams' name up the yin yang like I was. And all of a sudden, he got this hype train that was uncontrollable by the media, and he dealt with it, had to play with it. Every meeting after every game, there was the most reporters in there for him. He held it like a champ. He held it down like a champ. He got drafted like a first round pick, like a champ. He's not he's not making proclamations of obscenity that he can't connect on and that they're going to use against him. I think he's literally just going to go out there, ball. He's got weapons around him. The Chicago Bears team is built up crazy over this
Hmm.
offseason, okay? Offense and defensively. They were good towards the end of the season last year. I believe they started like 3-8 or 3-7 and then rattled off like 6-7 wins to end the season or something like that.
Yep.
Um, but they were come end of the season, man. That team was tough to score against and could get a little offense going here and there, but they needed more pieces to make it a full running train, and I think they got that, man. And I think the Packers are still a dangerous team. I just don't have faith in the. I believe they're still with Jordan Love over there, so I don't know. Jordan Love came through last year, made good throws in good times, but he still showed his ignorance in making poor decisions at the wrong times to end up losing the games. You know, you have the Detroit Lions, though, of course, in this division, and that's the toughest one to go against. Now, do I think Detroit's gonna be as good as they were last year? I don't think they're gonna be as good as they were last year. No, I don't. I don't think through the regular season things are gonna go right for them as many times. I think come playoffs, if you see Detroit and Chicago, Detroit wipes the floor with them. Okay, but I think regular season wise, I think the Detroit Lions slip in a few games that they won this previous season, and Chicago just wins more games end of the day and ends up winning that division. I think Minnesota's out of it. I don't even consider them a fucking team right now. All right, let's be real. Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, making that JJ pick, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
how I
So
feel about
let's
Minnesota.
also talking about Minnesota because it's Kirk Cousins' former team. What the hell is Atlanta doing? We got to comment on this before we go anywhere.
Atlanta did something very smart that a lot of people are not thinking about.
Okay, let me hear it.
Kirk Cousins just came off of a really big injury that sidelined him for more than half of a year. If he comes back and he's not fully healthy and gets hurt again, who do they go to when they're in win now mode? They go into a Michael Penix situation where he's a rookie, and it might end up working out for them in the long run. I really like
Okay.
what they did. I really like what they did, especially what Michael Penix did in Washington. In Washington, this last upcoming season. I mean, I said this straight up. He has the potential to be exactly like a Patrick Mahomes type of player for whoever picked him up, and Atlanta was just the lucky team out of the draw that ended up taking him. So, I mean, I like what they did. I think he's ready. I think he just needs like 1 or 2 years, 3 years maybe off of a guy like Kirk Cousins. But if Kirk Cousins isn't healthy and gets hurt again and again and again and again, because he is getting older, he's not getting any younger, they have Michael Penix to fall back on. It was a smart move by
So
Atlanta.
you didn't read into the narrative of like them going behind his back and just picking it and
I
just
did,
the
I did,
owner
but
talking to the coach on draft day and all this be like there's nothing there. They just did
I,
it as a backup plan. Do you think there's
yeah,
any apology to Kirk Cousins owed?
and no, not whatsoever. Because at the end of the day, Kirk Cousins is still the starter for the Atlanta Falcons. Until he's not the starter, I don't think so. I think everything's going to be just fine. I think they just used it as a backup plan just in case he gets hurt again. Because, like you said, he's not getting any younger. He got hurt, really bad injury. There's a reason why Minnesota got rid of him and went with JJ McCarthy. There's a reason
Us.
behind there's a reason behind every single little thing, and this just shows that they're trying to be in win now mode.
I just don't understand how a franchise pays over $100 million guaranteed for a 500 quarterback. I just
And
don't get it. I just don't
and
get it.
and I feel like that's the price that they're paying right now. And at the end of the day, they got what could end up being Michael Vick 2.0, not the freaking personal things, but the football wise. And it could end up working out a lot for Atlanta.
We're gonna have to see. Kirk Cousins making more money than Tom Brady in his career is a crime that needs to be investigated by the police. All right,
110%.
that
Hold on,
is.
hold on. I want to mention one more thing for the betters out there, for everybody that does sportsbook and fantasy. Get your young players now while you can, because it's going to be a bitch in the next few years to get them. Key things in fantasy and sportsbook is that the young players have something to prove and they need to prove it. Put them on it, win your bets. It's easy money, I guarantee you.
Hot takes, not hot cakes. I'm Mozzie, and that's Live Zone. This is the extra point. We're happy you tuned in with us. We're happy you stayed with us through the end. Little bit different of an episode, if we do say so. We were a little dressed up today. Um, so we're happy you came through. Of course, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram. We got the website almost up. We got the merch almost up. We got cameos coming up. We got few
Sponsors coming
ads coming up. Sponsors coming up. They're coming. Okay, we know we say it every week, and it seems like another week goes by, but every week we're working. So again, it's Mozzie, and it's Live Zone.
Stay tuned.